LEGO's always dropping new sets, which means they're always dropping new secrets for us to find. From the inside of Lotso's body being packed with Toy Story references, to the Smart Brick being able to do stuff like this. These are 25 new secrets in LEGO from 2026, starting with a coffee cup hiding inside the Jurassic Park Jeep Wrangler set. Now, if you haven't seen this set yet, it's a LEGO version of the actual Jeep from the movie, and the interior is packed with details. But the one that really got people talking was a tiny coffee cup sitting inside the car, because it's not just random decoration. In the original Jurassic Park, the most famous shot in the entire movie is the water cup rippling right before the T-Rex shows up for the first time. So LEGO put a coffee cup inside the Jeep specifically to reference that. But the set itself isn't the only place LEGO hid something. In the reveal video for the Jeep, if you look at the opening shots very carefully, you'll see a sign for a LEGO store with a grainy picture of what looks like a Triceratops skeleton set. And this was actually done on purpose. LEGO was teasing the release of set 77985, which is set to be released on June 1st. But when they dropped this video, it wasn't even announced yet. Now, the Jeep itself being full of references makes sense because it has an interior. However, Shrek is not supposed to open, but he does. And when you open his stomach in the Shrek, Donkey, and Puss in Boots set, there's an onion in there, along with a waffle and an eyeball. The eyeball is a reference to the opening scene of Shrek where he's just sitting at home eating eyeballs out of a bowl. The onion is obviously there because Shrek loves eating onions, but it might also be referencing the scene where Shrek tells Donkey that ogres are like onions.
Ogres are like onions.
The waffle is there because Donkey absolutely loves waffles and always wants Shrek to eat them.
Swapping manly stories, and in the morning, I'm making waffles.
The waffle and onion are pretty obvious if you know the movies, but most people don't even remember the eyeball scene, which makes the detail even more impressive. But you don't have to open anything to find the next secret in this set. On the base of the swamp build, there's a small frog sitting in the corner that most people probably just ignore. But that frog is almost certainly King Harold from Shrek 2, the fairy godmother's son, who was originally a frog prince and got turned into a human king. He eventually turns back into a frog at the end of Shrek 2, so I'm pretty sure LEGO put this piece there just to reference him. But this next reference is a lot deeper and definitely true. There's a blue and red flower you can put in Donkey's mouth, and in the original Shrek, there's a scene where Donkey picks a flower, and when he talks about it, it seems like he can't see colors.
Blue flower, red thorns. This would be so much easier if I wasn't colorblind.
We find out that Donkey is actually colorblind, so LEGO put this flower in the set to reference that. And the Toy Story Slinky Dog bookend set is doing something similar, except instead of 3 references, there are like 10, so get ready. The books in the set are absolutely packed with 1x1 stud builds of different characters. There's Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head, a pizza tile that's a nod to the Pizza Planet, 3 green aliens, a troll from the Knick Knack short, which is a Pixar short from 1989 that most people have never even heard of, Bo Peep, a bunch of army men, Ham, Buzz Lightyear, and Rex. That's basically the entire Toy Story cast compressed into the smallest builds LEGO can make, all tucked away inside 2 books you're not even supposed to open. But somehow, that's not even the craziest Toy Story secret in 2026, because the Lotso set goes even further and hides a completely different kind of reference at the same time. If you pull off Lotso's back, you find mini 1x1 versions of Jessie, Bullseye, Woody, and Buzz, just like in the bookend set. But there's also a tile with a strawberry printed on it, and that's a direct reference to the fact that Lotso smells like strawberries. There's also a much smaller secret in the Pizza Planet set from the same wave. The coin dispenser tile has what looks like a graffiti tag from Sid. It's barely visible, and there's no explanation anywhere for why it's here. It's just a piece of lore for a character that hasn't been around in forever. But this wouldn't be a Pixar set without that one reference that that we all know, A113. This time, it's hidden on the dashboard of the rocket, and if you look next to it, you'll find another 1x1 character, and this time, it's an alien. Now, all of these secrets are hidden inside or on the back of sets, but the Pikachu set hides something in plain sight that you never even notice. It's actually hiding on the base plate, not Pikachu himself. If you look at it really closely, you'll notice that there are some studs that make the number 25. But what does this have to do with Pikachu? Well, Pikachu is Pokemon number 25 in the Pokédex, and instead of making an obvious reference, the designers hid it in plain sight instead. And the Messi set does something similar with its base. Messi's had a pretty long career in soccer, so to honor that, the designers hid the flag of every club he's ever played for in the base of the set. There's Barcelona, PSG, Inter Miami, Argentina, and one other one that I actually don't know, so let me know what it is in the comments. The problem is that once you actually finish building the set, the base gets covered up and you can't see the flags anymore. They're only visible during the building process itself. But this is just bag 1. There are way more secrets in this set. Bag 2 has the pieces for the second part of the base, and when you build it, you get this really sick M made with the colors of the Argentinian flag. Obviously, we know what this stands for, but since it's the base, it gets covered up too. Bag 3 has the first set of pieces that go on top of the base, and just like with Bag 1, these pieces build references to every team Messi's played for. Only this time, they're micro builds of buildings instead of flags, which is honestly way cooler. Then there are 3 stars, which obviously represent the 3 World Cups he's won. But then we get to this piece, and you might start scratching your head. This is actually a really famous obelisk in Argentina, so it makes total sense for it to be here. But the best hidden detail in any new LEGO sports set right now is in the soccer ball set. From the outside, it looks completely normal, but if you press a button, the whole thing splits open and there's an entire micro stadium on the inside. There's the team that won the World Cup, a crowd, screens with a replay of the final goal, and there are even fireworks, which is crazy. Obviously, this is hidden inside the set, but LEGO launched something in March of 2026 that genuinely changed the definition of the LEGO brick, even though most people really don't like it. I'm talking about the Smart Brick. The Smart Play system introduced this brick, and from the outside, it definitely looks a little different, but on the inside, there's a custom microchip, an accelerometer, a sound sensor, color sensors, and a speaker. The chip itself is smaller than a single LEGO stud, and unlike every other piece of tech from LEGO, there's no app to download, no Bluetooth to connect, and no phone required. It just sits in the build, senses what's happening around it, and reacts accordingly. But let's look at the throne room duel set so you can really see what I mean. If you put the brick on the back of Palpatine's throne, not only will it make noises when you turn the chair around, but when you actually put Palpatine on his throne, the brick senses it and plays the Imperial March. This is genuinely so cool, but that's not even all it can do. The main part of this set is obviously the duel, and if you place the bricks in the right spot and move your minifigs around, it does this. It can also play a sound when Luke loses, which doesn't really sound that good. But there's still more to this brick. In Luke's Red 5 X-Wing, the brick makes a bunch of different sounds. For starters, just putting it on the ship and moving it around sounds like this. Then you can put Luke in the cockpit and it'll play this song. But the coolest sound by far happens when you put R2-D2 in the X-Wing. The fact that it can recognize characters is such a sick feature, but this gets taken to a whole other level in the new Mos Eisley Cantina set, in theory. This set had some of the most sounds out of this entire wave, but the best ones were supposed to be with the Cantina set. You can attach the brick to the designated spot, crank a lever, and the Cantina song would play, only it didn't sound good, like at all. It gets worse though. You can put compatible minifigures in front of it, and they'll have different singing voices depending on who it is. Obi-Wan sounds like this, and Greedo sounds like this. It goes without saying, but these genuinely sound terrible, which is honestly a shame. The one thing that makes Smart Bricks a little better is that they aren't locked to new sets. You can take the smart tags from any of the Star Wars Smart Play sets and drop them into a completely different set you already own, including sets that came out years ago. Someone's already tested this by installing the tags into a Pan Am airliner set and making it sound like an X-Wing. So if you've got old sets sitting somewhere on a shelf, this brick can bring them to life without you buying anything new. Unfortunately, Smart Bricks do get a lot of hate, and I can understand why, but let's just move on to the next secret. The Zelda Ocarina of Time battle set has what I think is one of the best simple play features of the year. There's a button built into the structure, and when you press it, the ruins of Hyrule Castle erupt, and Ganondorf launches up out of the debris. It's recreating the exact moment from Ocarina of Time where he explodes out of the rubble for the final confrontation with Link. The launch mechanism is hidden inside the ruins, so from the outside, it just looks like a normal part of the build, which is why I like it so much. And the Nocturne Alley set coming in June of 2026 has interactive features too, but there's one in particular I want to focus on. It has a Flue Network fireplace entrance that you can slide a minifigure through, and apparently when you do this, it activates the Hand of Glory. The Hand of Glory was that weird hand in the Chamber of Secrets that grabbed Harry in that store. But because this set doesn't come out until June 1st, we don't actually know what this feature looks like. Will the hand really get activated by a flue? Who knows? The description is talking about a bunch of cool stuff, but until it comes out, there's no way for us to know. This next secret is also from Harry Potter, but you'd only know about it if you were super tapped in. One of the next Harry Potter sets coming out is the Dumbledore's Office Book Nook set, and one of the minifigures it comes with is a special Phoenix Patronus. But why is it special? Because this is Dumbledore's personal Patronus, and the only reason it's in this set is to celebrate the 25th anniversary of LEGO Harry Potter, so you can't get it anywhere else. This set is all about the minifigures, but the Anzellan Starship Battle set doesn't have any at all until you look a little closer. Somewhere in the repair section inside the ship, there are pieces of a battle droid that you can find that build a complete one. It's not counted as a minifigure in the official listing, it's not shown on the box, and it's not in the description. It's just there, waiting for someone to pick up the loose parts and build it. But the UCS Mandalorian's N1 Starfighter has a manufacturing process that LEGO hasn't ever used before. The hull is built with drum lacquered silver elements, the same finish used on the gold bricks in the FIFA World Cup trophy set from earlier this year. Drum lacquering gives the silver that chrome-looking shine that regular pieces don't have, and when light hits it at the right angle, it looks completely different from every other gray set LEGO's ever made. You notice it as soon as you look at it. But to end the video, LEGO quietly replaced the Grogu minifigure mold in 2026, and based on the reaction online, nobody asked for this. The body that Grogu had been using since he first showed up in sets back in 2020 is just gone, and replaced with an entirely new mold that popped up in 4 different sets all at the same time. One of the most recognizable and beloved minifigures LEGO's made recently got retired without a single word, and even though people were mad about this, the new version gives him actual defined legs with feet at the bottom instead of the rounded base everyone was used to. So it low-key looks way better. But which secret in this video surprised you the most? Be sure to let me know down in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe.